After exploring the island for some time, you finally manage to figure a few things out. One is that there's been a dead society for some time, but that's not really. It's not really an old hat. A new hat. Looking around, exploring the area, you did eventually come back to the boat. Uh,
Chip.
mm, whatever. Chip. You found that the people that you, air quotes, captured, really took prisoner, are no longer there, and they're likely the icon that's on the ground of the ocean. I don't know if you care about that though. And she did tell you.
And she did tell you.
Oh, shirt off, my bad.
After finishing that off and settling things, and maybe coming back here to figure out how well the dinosaurs have been trained, she did make mention once more. So, have you decided on my offer? And I believe the last. Yeah, I believe the last thing you said, sure, why not? Because you really have nowhere else to go.
Sounds like a mighty fine plan.
I
Alright.
Indeed. To adventure.
Sounds good.
Looking around, she then states, alright then. Beyond that, we do have a few sites we can go to. Or we can head into... Well, it's not that far, I suppose. She does look for the map that one of you stole, but... last time you didn't say anything about it. So who knows if you do this time.
Oh, a map? I happen to have a map. I don't know how it got in my bag. I just randomly reached in, and would you look at that? There's a magical map.
She did memorize it, so... after looking for a bit and pointing it out, because the rest of you might need to know, she goes, oh, right, thanks. So, right now, we're on the very coast of Kobe. It's an island nation far to the east. We can get there and resupply, but there's also a site there that correlates with what we're looking after. Although I don't really know where the area is, or at least the site is. I just know that my benefactor wants us to investigate that area. Beyond that, there is a small nation to the... Well, there's a small island, it's not really a nation. Above that to the north, owned by Botad. It's a small fishing village, but ultimately we're gonna head there to explore. Another area we can explore that's closest to us is near the Principality of Combalia. However, right now they're kind of in a war struggle. So if we do go there, we're likely going to encounter combat that you may or not be prepared for. I don't really know, but either way, we'll enter into a coast area where I can at least resupply. And if you decide to just bail out on this, maybe get a new crew.
Thanks for the vote of confidence.
let's go.
Real quick, we have 1 second. Did we ever come up with a name for the island?
You voted, but I did not check.
Because I don't think anybody got more than one vote.
I think that...
Although Kaz has me rolling at Sebastian de Latis.
Oui, huh?
I think the thing with the most votes is a gif of Hiccup's dragon, toothless, licking his lips. So for now, it's fine.
But now we shall call.
For now, it's fine. You really don't need to worry about that. You know where geographically it is on the map. But she does state, alright, we have those 3 sites to look after. Kobe is the closest one, but it's not so far away we can't make it to the fishing village. The Principality of Bombalia would require a little bit more resources, but we could at least make it to the coastline and maybe get there.
Perhaps we should get our sea legs before attempting such a journey.
Well
Do
then,
the short trip.
it's the fishing village or the Principality.
We do not care.
Onward.
To the fishy place.
Fishing village
Vote.
sounds good to me.
To the fishing village it is.
Most of you just saying onward. 2 of you actually decided on something. So, fishing village we go.
There's a lot of pointing up.
As you head there, she begins to teach you how to sail, how to navigate, how to look out for upcoming storms. While you don't get everything, you do get the basics that you don't die out at sea. If you want to, I don't know, I'm not giving you ideas, steal the ship from her, it's potentially possible. But as you make your way here, storm does begin to pick up. You dock and everything seems fine enough. Looking around, it is quite a very small village. There are roughly only 10 houses in the area, and one of them is a tavern.
Is it snowing or raining?
It is raining.
It is dynamically raining.
That is a really cool feature.
Looking around, you can ask for people's information, maybe find out, hey, what's here? What are we looking for? Or, hey, what can we steal from you?
I mean, what are we looking for? You said we're just supposed to poke around.
She ultimately states, you're ultimately supposed to poke around. The sites are mentioned in the map, as well as the old scrolls, but these are the only 3 that were clearly visible at this moment in time. My benefactor simply stated, once one is cleared up, another one will emerge. Whatever
So the
that
map
means.
is just detailed enough to get us here.
Yes.
Okay.
So we
Is
need
there-
to-
Let's be fishy. No, I mean, let's do it.
The last thing I heard was, is there a... And then Discord really cut
Tap.
out on me.
Is there a tavern and is there a tailor in this small little fishing town?
There is one tavern and no tailor. If you
Okay.
ruin your clothes, you'll have to do it yourself.
Go to the tavern.
Alright. Entering into the tavern, you do see that there is 5 people, 2 chairs, and why did that turn off? And 1 bartender. It's not really a tavern, more like someone's house that they converted into a tavern.
Righteous.
Peering inside, you can tell that most of them, more or less, are human. 2 of them are human. One of them's an elf. One of them is a tiger person. And the other one, which is the bartender, is a halfling.
I would like to talk to the bartender and ask if there are any known goblin dens nearby.
The old stout bartender simply looks at you and states, goblins? Well, the only place I know where goblins would be is the old ruins. No one really goes there, though. Say the place is haunted.
And do these goblins give you guys a hard time?
Not really, they keep to themselves. Every once in a while, to make sure that they don't go into the village, we just put a basket of fish far off in the distance. Keeps them at bay.
Can you tell us a little bit more about these old ruins?
Don't really know myself. He looks towards one of the humans. Gerald, do you know anything about them? You see a human, stout, tall, a little gangly. Seems a little thin, but not too thin. He looks at you and simply states, are you talking about the old ruin things? Yes. As far as I know, they've been there for a while. That's about it. See that? That's our town historian there.
Very detailed. Do you know what the old ruins used to be before they were ruined?
Someone's
New
home?
ruin.
And in which direction? About how far are these ruins?
Oh, well, if you take the river into the island, you'll eventually get there, but it's a trek.
A day, a week, a month?
We're a very small island, so less than a week, but more than a day. But no one really bothers to go there. You'll just get into goblin campsites, maybe a few creatures here and there. It's not like we go out of our way to look for treasure.
Yes, who would be crazy enough to do something like that? Do you have any directions?
He gives you the same directions of just follow the river. Again, the town historian, from what you can gather, they really don't have much here. Air quotes, you can clearly tell that was a joke. Probably, I don't know about some of you. Anyways, you can also discern that no one has actually bothered to go there at this point. Maybe someone did a while ago, but not anymore.
Shall we talk to this historian then? Squad, team, crew.
I will go.
I mean, that town historian is in the tavern.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought that's who we were talking to.
We were talking to the bartender. Oh no, he called over. You're Gerald. You're right. All right.
He called over one of the humans.
Let's go find this historian.
We just
just
went
turned
over how I'm
5
an
feet and
idiot,
you
and we
find him.
just did.
He pops up behind us. You guys been looking for me?
Looking around, you find the town historian like 2 seconds later. He gives you the same information that he gave you 5 seconds ago. The only other new information he would probably have. Let me roll. 13. From what I can tell, there have been spottings of hobgoblins as well. That's basically it. It's not much goes on around in this village. We fish, we outport it to Kobe, and then we continue to fish.
Is the river big enough to take our ship down, or we're gonna have to get some sort of?
Maybe a dinghy,
rowboat.
but definitely not an entire ship.
Do we have landing craft or whatever that?
You do.
Well, maybe that.
Well, you have like a landing craft.
So
Could
big
put
enough
us
to
on it
do.
though, yeah?
Little dinghy.
You could also simply follow the road, the side of the water as well. You don't need to row a boat unless you want to, I don't know, rent one.
I mean, no, we have one, thank you. But maybe it's easier than walking.
I suppose. Good luck then. You see,
Right,
you see, he turns back 3 feet to where he was standing, and then begins to talk with the other human and the elf.
Also, so it makes carrying treasure easier. I mean,
Well, the historian mentioned a hobgoblin. Isn't Thal looking for one of those to wed or something?
No. I hate goblins.
Oh, I thought that's what the obsession was. I must have gotten it a little.
Only good goblin is a dead goblin.
creature, says the horrible, nasty dragon there.
But you do have directions, albeit awkward ones, if you want to head out.
And follow the river.
Nothing else we know?
The historian just doesn't turn, but he does state, afraid not. No one really goes out exploring.
Okay.
I mean, there is Bastion, but she's not really right in the head.
Who's
What was
Bastion?
that?
Well, we're all left in bed, so we'll take him. Where's he at?
Just come out of the bar, look directly to your right. He's the small island off of our giant island. He decided to isolate himself because he
Oh,
thought
he's on his own.
lower minds were dampening his intellect. He's kind of an ass, so we were fine with it.
So we should go visit him at some point.
If you want, no one's gonna stop you, but no one's gonna encourage you either.
I say we find the ruins.
I think we should visit Sebastian de la Tits.
You mean Sebastian de Lantis?
Yeah. Let's go find out who this character.
Right then.
I mean, it's like 2 minutes to get to his house.
Let's do it.
Let's go onward and outward.
2 minutes later, you go to the house. You can, if you run quick enough, you don't really need your small dinghy that you got off and then landed on port. You can just probably jump it. It's like 15 feet, but for adventurers, that's fine. It's not. It's like an athletics of 10. So I'm not gonna make you roll, at least for this one. You all just get bored in this kind of boring small village and just jump over to the other side, where you find a very small house. Looking at it, you see that there's a sign that says lower minds need not enter. It's written in Common, it's written in Elven, and it's written in Undercommon.
Well, that doesn't apply to any of us, so.
Glances at Joel.
Wait a minute. I can speak some of that. What are the languages again?
Common, Elven, Undercommon.
Well, I know I speak Common and Elven, but I don't know what Undercommon is.
I think Drow and the like. Either way, you can read it if you understand Common.
Oh, were you being sarcastic about not knowing?
I wasn't sure, honestly. Hello? Hello?
So what do we do?
Well,
Knock on the door.
let's knock on the door. Yeah.
Okay. I lost you guys for a minute there. You knock on the door, and easily enough, you hear someone in the background simply state, "Oh, what is it? I already gave you my quota for the day."
Nope, we're here to collect more taxes.
No, we just wanted to talk to you.
You then,
What's it doing?
you then see a man
Well,
open the door. He's a nice enough looking man. Early 30s, maybe late 20s. You can tell that he is exasperated from opening the door again. You can tell that his area is messy and he does not get many people. You're not from the city. And he just closes the door on you.
I knock on the door again. Is his name Bastion or Sebastian?
It's Bastion.
Bastion, right?
Okay.
It's like a real Bastion.
What?
Mr. Bastion, if you could just give us a minute or two to talk.
You ain't selling anything?
No.
You got a minute. He opens the door. He does not invite you in. What do you want?
We were curious if you knew anything about the old ruins.
He scoffs and goes, "Probably the only person that does know anything." Is that it?
Well, we
Would you care to tell?
definitely like to hear more about them.
We need a guide, you see.
You got money?
Nope, none of that.
Closes the door.
I have gems.
He does not
This is
open
how
it, but he
buttons are
says, "How
delivered."
many?"
How much for a guy?
I don't know if we need a guide that bad. This guy seems nuts.
Wait. What? Can you? You've been to the ruins, yes? Can you read anything there? Know anything about them?
Look, I'm sure you've been in town, so you clearly know I am of a higher intellect if you came over here.
That is why we sought out your knowledge.
So I'm sure you're aware that I'm either your best bet or you go there blindly.
Well, quite frankly, most people in town said that it was a waste of our time to come here, but we thought we'd give you a chance. You know, we always think about giving everyone a chance.
And besides, we thought maybe you'd be bored and want to go have an adventure.
Be social.
Get a shiny ruby?
The only one that would actually make any sense towards him would be the ruby comment. So he goes, "Give me a ruby of the day, per day, and we can talk." Or 10
All right.
gold a day.
I'm just saying, I don't quite think this old kooky cranky guy is worth paying.
That's up to you. You really don't know.
Yeah, I just want him one gem, which is.
Do you have any
Five
special
days.
skills that we should know about?
You believe he's directing his voice towards you? Look, I know a lot of things and I can do a whole bunch of things. If you want my skills, you'll have to pay like everyone else. If you want to, I don't know, talk for a few minutes and they give you information and you leave, that'll also cost money. But if you want to spend time
So
here and
you
ask
want us to
simple,
pay
dumb
you-
questions, that's free, but it doesn't mean I have to answer anything.
So you want us to pay to figure out exactly what you're worth before we pay to have you come on a trip with us?
Don't you know how merchants work?
You're a merchant?
It's simple
are you-
trading works. I can clearly tell you couldn't read the sign.
I have ADD.
And one of these for 5 days.
He does open a slot on the door and he does see, I'm assuming what you're pointing towards?
Yes.
I believe the ruby is like worth 50 gold, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he would know that. So he closes it, unlocks it, grabs a bag, and then goes, "Alright, fine." He closes his shed up. He places like 5 baskets on the ground, closed, so if you want to look inside, you can open it, I guess. But he goes, "Fine. You ready to go? Or do you need a day? That'll cost you a day."
Yay, I think I'm ready.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Yeah, I don't think there's much else that we need to do here, so.
Alright. Can you walk?
We're going to go by a boat, I think. Ding.
I
That's,
have a book.
that's about as fast as I can walk. Fine. I guess.
Okay, for the next 5 days, I'm the boss of you. Be less grumpy.
Hang
I
on.
don't think it
Agreed.
works like that.
It doesn't, but you see he grabs one of the rings he has on his hands, which you denote that there are 4 of them. He begins to cast something in one, and then let me roll. 17. Looking at the chart. Chart. Okay. 17. All right then. Very well then. Shall we get going then?
Whoa.
I want that spell.
So you're all ready,
Guess that is rather clever.
We shall get going.
Uh,
Let's get going.
right? Can all of you
Alright,
water walk, or should I need to cast an enchantment upon you? It'll be about the
mean,
same
let's
speed
save it.
as a boat, but it all really depends on you.
I think we're meaning to come back with some treasure.
Ah, you're explorers and entrepreneurs. Very well then. Take your time while I wait for your boat. Do you get your boat?
We get the boat and we want to head towards Gold Ruin.
Okay. Oh, so he's not that old. He's like late 20s, early 30s. He's just really grumpy.
Is he human?
He is human. Where are your tokens? Oh, there it is. I forgot I changed the map, so your tokens didn't appear for a quick second. I'm just gonna say Jazz is currently on the boat, tending to things while you're doing this. She's probably helping set up. What would you call her? Your enchanter? In a room?
Sounds about right.
So that's why she's not here. Copy and then paste. As you finally get the boat and you see the man before you, as well as 3 hobgoblins after the first 10 minutes. Well, 2 goblins and 1 hobgoblin.
Okay. Out of character, I want to let you know that I have part of my background as a goblin hunter, and if there's 2 goblins by themselves, not accompanied by the other goblins, then they run in fear from. They have like a nickname for me, which I have not.
That would make sense in a bigger, what's it called, island or nation. This is a small rinky-dink area. I mean, they might still run away out of fear, but they probably wouldn't know your name.
Foehammer, beater, blighter.
But if you decide to come up with a name eventually, that might happen later on in like a city or in another area. But quite literally, you've probably never been here. There's really no reason to be here. That's kind of why the town historian knew near to nothing.
Well, they shall know my name in the near future.
Let me roll their insight to determine if you're dangerous.
Say it again.
I'm just rolling insight for them to determine if you're dangerous and will attack them. But they're currently eating a fish. Like, all 3 of them are sharing. You see the hobgoblin just sharing with the 2 goblins. They look towards your boat. They don't really see you as friendlies, so they just walk away.
Yes, that's right. Run, you disgusting, scaly. Run. I guess they're not scaly. Hairy.
How angry would you guys be if I ran them down?
I mean, it seems a bit pointless.
I'm gonna have to do the whole holding me back.
No.
Whoa, eyes on the prize,
Let it go.
big guy.
They're already gone. We can't see them anymore. If they come back, then you can beat them up, okay?
It's okay,
Plenty
Josh.
more.
It's okay.
While you're calming him down, Bastion goes, "Ah, yes, the goblins. They seem to be fun enough. They are very entrepreneur-like. They take care of their own and make sure they don't die. Truly a remarkable race on this area."
See, they're friendly.
Although, stereotypically, they are often cannibalistic and kill people. I can see why your companion would see the stereotype as true.
Inconceivable.
Right then. He just begins to continue walking on water. Shall we get going? Or do you want to interact with them?
I think that would go poorly.
Alright. We are gonna get into a very dangerous area, though. Do be careful. Dangerous in the term of waterway. Your boat might not be able to fit, but perhaps it can.
You have to roll for steer, or roll for rowing.
Well, I'll just show you the map,
Thank
because you decided not to interact. Bastion just climbs up on the rocks and goes, "Well, the main thing you have to worry about are these boulders. But you can go to the left side and do a combined strength check of 30 and get it through the area."
Portage.
Just be careful with those
Is
two.
not going to be helpful. Oh yes, that's some sort of a cat lady in a horrible dick.
Yes.
Just no. regular riverside stuff.
Oh no, those two, well, there's more than two, but those two are, how should I phrase this? Lookouts for the tower. Although they don't no longer need to look out for it as it has been in shambles for some time, they still keep on the job.
Sort of ancient guardian.
More or less. I don't really know how old they are. The woman has changed from time to time. When I was younger, she wasn't the same person. So if I had to guess, she might have another village, deeper into the forest.
No, I mean,
Let's go
if
deep
she's
into the forest.
You can,
Let's roll
if you really
that
want, but that would divert you from the area.
Oh no, the ruins are inland now, are they?
No, we still have to go. I mean, you are paying me, so if you decide to go this way, it all depends on how long it takes.
Maybe we should stay on.
Let's
Yeah.
keep going onward.
Roll for portage.
Very well then.
Could be helpful.
Since you're going forwards, go ahead. All of you, go ahead and roll an athletics check. With a combined number of 30, you can get the boat through.
A what check?
Athletics.
Athletics.
Oh, nice.
Row, row, row your boat.
Depending on how you guys rolled, it could have scraped it up and become a problem. But you guys did pretty well. So you just scrape on through.
Ghost is doing the thing where like everyone lifts it up and he's just hanging from it. Like, I'm helping.
Just swimming underneath it. Like, I push it, okay?
Just because everyone's
we
taller
need to-
than him.
We need to pick it up. No, I'm swimming. Athletics was 8.
Oops. You get into the area where there is a small bridge along the coast. Oops. Afterwards...
Why we've beached her?
Nah, you just landed there. Bastion then states, "Alright then, here we will make way on foot. Can you continue on, or shall we rest? It will be about a day's travel. It will be a few hours' travel."
No, we had a nice, easy trip down the river, except for that portal. Saved our energy.
Yeah, I think we'll be alright.
If you say so.
Is there? Do we have enough rope we can tie our boat up to the tree so don't
I mean,
suck on?
Yeah,
If one of you has rope,
we'll haul it up.
Or maybe just pull it up off the embankment. How big's the boat?
Yeah.
yeah, it's doable.
Make sure it's there when we come back.
I mean, that's not for you to decide. That's for society.
Well, I mean, we're trying. Smart.
Just like carve into the side that goblins piss on.
Alright.
Paul was carving. Goblin Hunter was here.
What happened?
We were making jokes.
Sorry, I'm having technical issues right now, so I wasn't paying attention.
They were just making jokes,
Hold-
and now you're walking a few hours to get to the temple site.
Copy.
But 8 hours later, you manage to make it to the temple site while night falls. The rain has dissipated, and you all are in front of it. Alright then. If you need me further, just let me know. Otherwise, I have gotten you to the temple.
Is there anything? Is it trapped or anything that we should know about?
Oh my, yes, it's heavily trapped.
Have any tips for us?
What do you mean? Lead the way. That's why we paid for a guide.
Yes, I have led you to the temple.
Yeah, but like inside though.
That was not part of the contract, but if you decide to, I can use the entire gem, say for 2 days, and then afterwards, we can decide the payment after.
You mangy kid.
I want to persuade. I contracted you for 5 days. It was open-ended as to what exactly you would provide.
It was not. I stated my key marks and how much it would cost, and I have done so. If you'd like to renegotiate, we can.
Fine. We probably won't need you for the full 5 days. So, all tomorrow, you'll help us with this temple.
Indeed, it might not take all tomorrow, but you do know the way here now, so I'm assuming you can make the way back. But if it doesn't take that long, I can help you there.
All right, crew. What do we think? Are we actually close to exhaustion, or
It's close enough time that you would need to sleep, but you wouldn't be exhausted.
Okay.
what do you say?
so-
Get to it in the morning, or delve right in?
Say again?
Do you guys want to rest up and go, or do you want to just head in now?
I don't know. How are you guys feeling?
I could do a trance for 4 hours.
I'm fine. I just don't want to get exhausted in there. But if we're not close enough for that, then I'm down.
Okay.
Alright then.
Very good then. Follows you, makes way forwards.
Since I should be good at looking for traps too. Right then, point them out.
Right. Are any of you good at riddles?
Let's find out, shall we?
Quite true. As soon as he stands on this embankment, you then see an inscription in Primordial begin to form in this area. Right. This one seems simple enough.
Does anyone speak that
I do.
terrifying red?
Right. Well then, perhaps you can get this. Looking at the Primordial language, you do read and see. I am surrounded by glass and have a top, and yet I light the way. I'm covered by all sides, surrounded by walls, and yet with me you can see.
Sounds like a lantern.
Are you saying that out loud or telling
Yeah,
me?
so I repeat what I've read out loud to everyone.
It does sound like a lantern.
You see that the lights that were surrounding you begin to flicker, and then the primordial dissipates. Alright, very good then. Moving forwards.
What do you do?
Right. This is a little trickier than this one. All you simply have to do is walk through.
Insight?
Go for it.
I mean, show us how it's done, guy.
He has, or at least he is telling the truth. From what you can tell. But he just walks through.
Follow him.
Yeah.
Navy, as you get there, you see at the very corner of your sight, something shining in the distance. You can't tell exactly what it is, but it is shining. It seems to be underneath a book and a treasure chest. The treasure chest seems open.
Hey, what's this treasure stuff over here? I ask.
Can't be certain.
Are these rooms safe to walk into?
I've already given you the answer, so it's up to you to decide what you do.
Keep walking.
Remy,
We should just keep walking straight, guys.
as you go over here,
Yell that at her.
you see a small treasure chest, and with your passive perception, you can tell that it is slightly opened. Inside, you see platinum coins filling up to the brim.
Well, that I'm gonna let everybody know that I suspect there's a trap.
A trap?
Thal, as you round that corner, you see like goblins waiting in the back of this rock, just taking aim straight towards you.
I would like to launch my spear at them.
You launch your spear, and
Okay.
it just clacks at the wall. It seems that you might have missed, or they went behind the rock.
Hey
Was-
guys,
was
hey
there-
guys, there's over here.
Was there a riddle involved with this?
There was not.
Okay.
Hey guys, there's some goblins over here. What should we?
I think we should just keep walking.
And forget about the goblins?
I don't think it's safe to go into any of the rooms.
Close. As you get towards this room, you can tell there's a lot of shiny objects in there. Small trinkets, small baubles, an assortment of hats. Pirate and otherwise.
Oh dear God. It's all so beautiful. I like shiny things.
You just keep going, don't go in there.
I'm gonna use prestidigitation.
On what? Also, Liviana, as you get towards this room, inside you see a small kitten just slightly meowing underneath its bed.
Oh my goodness!
I'm gonna use prestidigitation to create some small floating shiny object near Kos to try to distract him away from the room full of beautiful hats.
Without hesitation, I go into the room and approach the kitten.
Everyone roll dexterity saving throws. As you enter the room, the cat disappears.
I can't roll anything right now because my D&D Beyond is like all messed up.
That's fair. Do you know?
Then you have to do it manually. /R space 1d20 plus whatever your dex is.
Got it. One second.
Right, 21, 19, 13, 22, natural 20. Do you know your modifier? Eight plus three.
Plus 3.
Okay. Liviana, as you enter inside, you can see that the cat vanishes. Immediately underneath your feet, the tiles begin to fall, and everyone else's feet also nearly fall as well. Bastion is the only one that's okay because he walked all the way through.
Can I fly?
With quick thinking, you managed to not fall. Remy, you rolled well enough that you didn't have to fly. But you quickly step to the side, and the tiles that were underneath you fall to the ground, and you see the things that you saw. Some of them still remain, and others do not. Thal, you still have your spear in the corner of the room.
What do you mean I still have my spear in the corner of the room?
Didn't you throw your spear?
Oh, like I should go get it?
It's up to you.
Like that's gonna be hard, and or you still happened when you went, or when someone went into it.
I'm gonna voice out loud to the entire party that we need to not get off of the main path, and that the rooms appear to be distractions, and that whatever the hell Liviana just did almost killed all of us.
Yeah, I'm just gonna head towards the end of the hallway.
All right. Liviana, do you return back to the main hallway?
Yeah.
You do so. I'm afraid you passed, but I'm afraid you lost one spear. Small price to pay, though.
So Navy was right.
Yeah.
Everyone should listen to Navy a little bit more.
So there's no kitten?
There's no kitten. That doesn't mean there's no goblin, though, if you want to go back and check.
Like all the shiny things were lying. Curse this horrible existence.
Alright, unfortunately, this area has seen better days. How are you at acrobatics?
Excellent.
I like to think I'm pretty good.
Alright then, we simply have to jump over to the other side, and we'll continue onwards. The trap here, I'm afraid, unfortunately, broke apart long ago.
Unfortunately.
As you say that, he goes, yes, we could have easily studied it and figured out why they did this.
So we just roll acrobatics?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Remy could probably fly, but Thal would have to roll acrobatics. It seems...
Kaz, go ahead and right click on, or left click, right click, and then remove from Chrome and just add it again and see, because that's got to be your issue, is that you didn't get the update.
Okay, I'll try that.
Looks like Liviana and Navy did not pass. Remy, do you want to make a dexterity saving throw to catch one of them?
Yeah, I'll do that.
If you try to catch both, you would then have to roll athletics to make sure you don't fall in. With a 19, you are able to grab one of them or both, but if you decide to grab both, you would have to roll athletics.
Who both fell?
Liviana and Navy.
You need me, need money.
You grab onto both, and you
That's
are just
both.
barely able to hold on. Unfortunately, the area around you begins to break, but with enough willpower and strength, you just pull the rest up, and you both, well, three, just make sure you don't stay on the edge.
Oof. Thank you.
Yeah. Don't sweat it.
Right. It is about, it's not too dangerous. It's only about an 80-foot fall, but it could still kill you.
Oh yeah, just maybe, possibly.
Well, I remember the first time I fell down there.
$86. No, it was a piece of cake. What are you all out of breath?
Says you.
Right then.
Hey, Caleb.
Or that?
No, I was just trying to get some technical support.
Yeah, uninstall it, remove it from Chrome, and then reinstall it completely.
So how do I do that?
Right click on it, and then remove from Chrome. And then open up a new tab and type in Beyond 20. The very first one should be chrome.google.com, Beyond 20, Google Chrome, click it, and then
In the meantime, what is our next?
The next one's the last room. Unless you want to explore the rooms to the right and left. I haven't really found anything in those ones.
I honestly don't think some of these people could make that jump again.
We could try harder next time.
I don't think they made it the first time.
I could jump across with a rope if you really want, but I mean, the expert says there's nothing there.
Well, he said he didn't find anything.
It's up to you guys.
Well, I mean, it's on the way out.
I mean, if you go left and right, it's on the way out.
I'm for going for.
Alright then. Forward it is. As you enter inside, you see a giant statue. It doesn't seem to be cursed. It doesn't seem to do anything. It's just big. Police sirens. And
That's the sound of the.
it just seems to be big. The area doesn't seem to be well taken care of, but as you mentioned before, no one comes out here.
So is this it then? Big statue?
Yes. I'm afraid no one really comes here or bothers to anymore. But this is the farthest I've ever gone.
So who's it of then?
Can't rightly say. I'm afraid I don't read or speak all the languages written in the inscriptions. Take a look over here. He then points towards a magical circle inscribed underneath the statue. Right over here is incantation, but I can't read all the discerning languages. And since no one else bothers to get here, and no one else in town speaks anything other than common, maybe the elven tongue, but that's about it, I'm afraid I can't really go past this point.
What languages?
Ah, yes, I don't really know myself, but you can take a look if you'd like.
Would I roll investigation?
To determine what other languages, but I can tell you the languages.
Okay.
Because you may or may not have them. One of them is Draconic, one of them is Primordial, one of them is Elven, one of them is Celestial, One of them is infernal. One of them's undercommon. And one of them is... I don't think any of you have it, so... well, I'll still tell you, but you just can't see it or read it unless you have it. Deep speech.
Yeah,
So
but
I speak Celestial, Draconic, Elvish, and Primordial.
I got Draconic and Thieves Can't.
I think I'm just primordial and common. I think I had one other language, but I can't remember if I actually picked one. Proficiency language.
It seems you have most of them except for undercommon and deep speech.
Deep Speech. I feel like Coach should have Undercommon. Let me come.
Bastion does have undercommon, but he does not have deep speech. And since he doesn't leave his island, he can't really find anyone that does.
Yeah. Yeah.
Perhaps someone else that you may know has it, but this is as far as I can get.
Can I
On
take out
that
paper
note-
and like make a copy of it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll do that. I'll spend some time just making a copy of all the writing to take back with us in case we can't get through.
It's engraved in the ground, so you can just basically get a piece of chalk and write over it, and it engraved in a piece of paper.
Cool.
But yes,
So we've got every part but Deep Speech. Is that enough to start?
I'm afraid I do not know.
So what is it exactly?
It seems to be a circle, magical circle engraved on the bottom. 6 out of the 7 languages have basically been discerned, but the last one, deep speech, no one here knows it, or has yet to say that they know it or not.
Hail Mary. Does Jazz's character happen to know?
I can take a look at their character sheet, but I am
It's
not
kind of
sure.
why it's a copy of it just in case we come across somebody that does know it.
Hold on one second.
Hardly anyone takes it, if I'm going to be honest. She knows a language, but not that one.
I forget if anyone has sending. Could we ask our illustrious
Does anybody in our party? Wait, who's?
I don't believe anyone does.
Yeah. Well, what can we read so far?
From what you can read so far, you get the message. Upon pillars, upon mountains, upon skies, upon seas. Entering into the void, we all become glee. Entering into the bowels of the deeps and the murk, we see the shadows come... Sorry, truck. We see the shadows become those above, and those below the light. Entering now, we... Let's about as much as you can get.
Interesting.
From what you can tell, or at least the mage casters can tell, there seems to be a spell to unlock something. You just don't have the complete spell if you do not have the complete knowledge. I'm just gonna say you figure this out because you've taken notes on the message on the ground, and most of you know their languages. So really all you need to find is one person that speaks Undercommon. Not Undercommon. Deep Speech.
Well, shall we explore those other ways then?
Alright.
I suppose so.
Alright. Just be careful this time.
Yes, I'll span a line.
That sounds
Got
good.
50 feet of rope. Jump over with and tie to a rock so you guys can. And hope that I don't chunk this.
Motorcycles.
Thank goodness it's acrobatic.
Yay.
I'm close to the right side, so executive decision. That's where I'm gonna try and tie the rope to a rock somewhere.
There's a small wall
And
area that you could probably tie it to, but there's no giant rock.
I just something to tie it to.
Yeah.
Any sort of a check or just
Not if you're just taking your time. Like if you're in a
No,
rush
I'll
trying to
take-
do this.
now we're another left half of Thal. He's pretty solid.
Alright. You easily do so. Everyone can roll acrobatics with advantage.
Holy fuck.
Oh my goodness.
I'm supposed to be good at acrobatics. Oh wow. Okay.
Alright, you easily enough pass. Some of you barely. Well, two of you barely. Surprisingly enough, the same people.
Thanks for putting that rope up. It was a great idea.
Yes, I'm very clever. I untie, get the rope back.
Untie, get the rope back. Let's see, this is the right side. Entering into the area, you do see a whole bunch of flora and fauna. Looking inside, you can tell that this is not native to this land. This simple, humble, kind of a dump, fishing village would not have so vibrant colors. But beyond this, there really doesn't seem to be much here. You can explore, look around, but at first glance, it just seems to be covered in non-native vegetation.
Is it like super warm in here?
Not really. It kind of feels damp. It's like a warmth that should not be there, but you don't really feel it on your body. You just can tell that it's muggy inside.
Alright, well, to investigate these plants, what are we, survival, nature, investigate?
You just said
Fauna.
investigation.
Oh, sure, I'll take it.
Investigating the plants, you can discern Kos. They are not native from this land. They don't seem to be native from this entire continent all out together. While you've never been to... Let's see here. Yeah, you'll probably know the place I'm talking about. While you've never really been to Botad, or you might have been to Kobe, I'm not really sure about that one. It doesn't seem to be native from that area as well. Whatever these things are, they might be further in a different continent, or maybe not from this world altogether. Remy and Liviana, you can tell that they're very pretty. Remy, you can tell that they're super pretty. Same things.
These are very pretty.
Right out of the walls and rocks and stuff.
They seem to be burrowing from the walls and area, so wherever they came from, they seem to be breaking out of, if that makes sense. The best way you could explain it is roots just breaking off from the area that it was at.
And what if I give this central mass here a dagger?
Roll athletics.
Uh-oh.
You sink it in about an inch, and then you almost see your dagger chip. Almost.
Alright, this is a strong plant.
That's a rock.
I'm bad at plants.
Do you try
It's
to
just
do
a
it
good
to a plant?
dagger, though. My god. Sorry, it's blurry. I thought this was like a plant.
Oh, if you zoom out and in, it sometimes fixes it. It did for me. Do you try to do it to a plant?
Yeah.
Roll athletics. You just cut through one of the vines that's slapping through it. It seems to ooze out purple. That's about it. To be specific, it's not like blood. It's sometimes, if you've seen cactuses and cut through them, it's like that.
Okay. Does anyone know anything about oozing plants?
Can't say I do.
Bastion would simply look and state, from what I can tell, it's not from here, but that's honestly all I can discern. I am not a herbalist. Perhaps some sort of alchemist, or maybe some sort of practitioner of magic, or a cleric might be able to figure this out. But I am neither, and I don't presume to be one.
Can I roll Arcana?
Yeah, you can try.
Oh.
You feel like
Ouch.
licking it to figure out what it does, but you're not sure if it's poisonous.
I didn't mean to roll that many times. Sorry.
It's fine. I'm just gonna take the first one.
Can I take a sample of it?
Yeah. Do you have like an empty bottle or something like that?
I was gonna stick it in my book, like press it, like a. This plant, right? Or is it too wet?
It would be too wet. If you take like a leaf, you could probably do that.
My burglar's pack has 2 flasks of oil, so I'll pour one of those out and fill it up with whatever the sap is.
Alright, you pour a whole bunch of oil like right here.
And I'll take a leaf for my book.
What an environmentally friendly solution.
You can see that the oil seeps into the stonework rather than stay there. But you do take the gooey stuff, and Navy does take a leaf. I can see, based on your deductions, that you are also not clerics or enchanters. Just looking at Kos for dumping a whole bunch of oil.
No, I'm much too charming for that. Thank you.
Right. Shall we go to the left, or are you still exploring here?
To the left.
I'm done.
Let's go left.
Left, left.
Okay. You make it. You're there. You eventually figure out that Remy can just tie the rope for you. Because eventually you
Take
would
it as
figure that
given.
out.
I make another sick Yoda jump.
I mean, if you want to try.
No, no. It's happened. It's done already.
Sure. Entering inside the next room, Bastion does state, alright, this one seems to be a little more natural to the environment. However, the ground itself seems to be burrowing into the room. But it's just started, so maybe there was an avalanche further inside. You don't find any plants that you want to lick to investigate. But so far you don't really find anything. Other than like small bushes in the area that you can easily see. The rock itself does seem to be burrowing into the room, as the tiles on the ground seems to be going up in your direction rather than any other way. Climbing on top of it, you can tell that there's a small ledge up to the north. But beyond that small ledge, there's like no tunnel in front of it. It's just a higher it's just higher up in the air. Climbing on top, you do see that the bushes around you do seem to be from this island. You saw them when you were traveling down the road. How they're surviving down here, though, it's weird. You don't really know that. But looking down on your companions, you can tell that the rock is going that direction. Not if it's speeding up to attack them. It just seems to be going towards the door.
So the rock is moving?
Bastion then states, yes, it doesn't move that fast, but it does move. I theorized that perhaps some sort of avalanche happened further inside. There might be a greater cave system. Or perhaps, some type of elemental. I have yet to figure out which.
Can the elemental
I'm afraid I do not communicate with elementals, so I wasn't able to
Can I
determine.
smell it?
Did you just say, can you smell it?
Yes. Can I smell what the rock is cooking?
For shame.
It smells like dirt.
Copy.
And a very nice T-bone steak. I guess. 1 second.
So no one speaks dirt.
And I'm back. But other than that, you really don't find anything else based on people's investigations.
Wait, 1 second.
Okay.
Might I roll one?
Anyone can roll one if you're looking. Huh. Remy, you fear the moving rock. Maybe. It's hard to discern. It might be an elemental you might want to punch. Or it could just be a rock. Coast, you can tell that the avalanche, if it was one, was not natural. Whatever moved the bedrock closer to you, didn't on a...
Magic. That's magic. Magic did that.
Yes, or something else. Something indirect did this. Navy, it wasn't a one, so you wouldn't lick the rock. You just pick up a rock and put it down. as if you're testing if gravity still works. It does.
Cool. This is neat.
But yeah, Coast, you can tell that the whole moving towards you was a directed action rather than an indirect one. But it could have happened a while ago. It could have happened last week, yesterday. Bastion was here a week ago, he states, and it was like 2 feet further back.
Yeah, if anyone wants to mess about with some magic, I understand that we're pretty new. Really not my area of expertise.
Remy, you find the same thing. You can tell that... how would I explain this? Especially with Thal. Thal, you can feel a force behind the rock, like a massive one. In order for this to happen, and in order for the environment to change so rapidly, and this is quite rapidly, not natural, there would be a massive concussive force behind the rock to do this. Determining this epicenter, maybe with Liviana's help, you can determine that... Liviana, you would know this as well. You compare notes, and you can tell that whatever force is doing this is curved in the area, and it would lead back behind maybe the statue. Remy, you can tell that this was produced by magic forcefully pushing something further into the room. What that thing is, it could be a giant ball of energy. Someone casting mold earth over and over again to shape this. But it'd take a really long time for that. So whatever's behind this, it's not directly behind it, but around it. But with enough force that this weak spot was able to go further into the room.
Is it something we can go inside? Like, is it cavernous, or is it just like a landslide of just dirt stacked up in front of us?
Liviana and Thal could determine if someone would have mold earth. It would take roughly 4 hours, but you could probably find a weak spot enough that your team can go through.
Ah yes, burrowing is a slow process. Rewarding though.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little confused about what we're supposed to be doing or what you're trying to allude to.
Basically, to get behind the statue door, there are 2 ways. One is the Mold Earth spell, which you could do to basically make a hole after a few hours and get behind there. Another is to find someone with deep speech and finish the circled spell. Right now, you're exploring the temple site, and you have yet to finish the temple. You really can't progress further unless you do either, or maybe this is just a red herring.
What happens if I put a drop of sap on this earth thing?
Drop of what?
Of the goo that I got from the other side.
It begins to slide down, and then it hits the floor. After it hits the floor,
there's no wrong answers in brain.
it seeps into the ground.
So pretty much it's we can dig a hole or we can go find someone that can speak deep speech.
You can also grab a whole bunch of shovels and dig through the rock, but that would probably take longer.
Now you're speaking my language.
If you decide to do that, you can. It would probably take you all night, and at that point, you would hit exhaustion. Or you can duel it, or you can do it early morning. And then right around noon, you would break through enough.
Sounds faster than going back.
Does sound fast.
Okay.
Bastion,
Kos takes off his hat, starts doing like the doggy dig.
So are you exhausting yourselves while digging, or are you gonna take a rest and then do it in the morning?
We're gonna dig a bit, take a rest, and then do the rest in the morning.
I only have to sleep or transfer 4 hours, so can I transfer 4 hours and start digging?
Yeah, I mean, that'll probably save like an hour or two.
Cool.
Okay. Well, everyone takes a rest. Some people begin to dig like dogs. Others begin to meditate. A few hours later, Remy then begins to continue dig. And then, like 2 hours after, the rest decide to dig. Bastion does not help. That was not part of the contract.
Scared me, dog.
Yeah, well, he can either stick with us or walk back home.
No, you've hired him for the 2 days.
Yeah, I know. And, yeah, I guess we got all today, huh?
Yeah. I mean, even if you contracted him for 2 days, if you finish this within today, you can just follow him back. It's really not that hard. But I
It's not
digress.
like we'll get lost.
Breaking through right around 9:30 to 10 in the morning, you find a cave system further in, and it's leading further to the left. You can tell that the way the rock in the cave system is smoothed out, this area has been pelted with energy time and time again. Bastion looks at the hole you've made and goes, "Alright then, shall we head in, or are you ready for lunch?"
We're all just like, I could have a bite. No, let's just have an apple and go on. By apple, I mean turkey.
A quick lunch later, you go through the tunnel, and 10 minutes after, because you weren't terribly far away, you find yourselves here.
Okay, now this looks distinctly magical this time.
I frankly can't tell you, I'm afraid. I've never gone this far. But from the way we turned, we're likely behind the statue. Huh. I suppose brute force can work a way around a spell. Or a riddle, really. Let's see. Let's go with this one. Right then. Quite honestly, I don't really know what to do here. All I know is it is very magical in this area. As soon as you enter inside, what do you do?
Perception.
Alright.
I don't see anything. Continue on.
You see a giant magical vortexing, what are they called again? I think they're called kaleidoscopes.
Yeah.
Liviana, you can tell the same thing. Thal, you can also tell the same thing. However, you both can tell that this energy force seems to be coming from a different area other than the natural plane. Navy, you can tell this as well.
I would like to check for... Sorry, go.
The way it's sparking and jolting, you can tell that it's going to soon release an energy, basically blast in the area. From the right and left, you can possibly determine That those are the rooms you just well, not just left. It was a couple of hours ago. Were the right and the left rooms you were just at. One with the plants and one with the rock moving forwards. Coast. Coast, you're muted.
I was just gonna check for obvious danger besides the.
From what you can see around you, go ahead and roll investigation or perception. You can see two giant, about the size of the roof. The roof is 20 feet up, but these things are 18 feet up. They seem like treasure chests, but they have skull and crossbones upon them. And behind them and behind the kaleidoscope, not kaleidoscope, that's the wrong thing. I'll figure it out later. You see the same type of things. This time a little clearer.
Vortex?
No,
There's gyro.
Gyroscope? Gyroscope, yeah.
Yeah. You see the same thing, but those ones behind them do have cracks. Behind this weird contraption, there just seems to be a wall. So the only way that you could have gone here is either something broke down the fence, which you've clearly found, or figure out the statue thing. You see no other discernible dangers other than the giant, massive, moving energy ball. Let's see here. Navy and Thal, you can tell that there's a gem smack dab in the middle of the kaleidoscope. Gyroscope. And there are 4 gems adjacent to it at the very edges of them as well. 2 here and 2 here. 2 to the north and 2 to the south. But this thing is spinning and spinning quite rapidly.
Do you think then that we have to put the gems on the coffins? Or is that exactly what we should not do?
I'm not sure.
Wasn't it spinning awfully fast to try to get your hands in there?
I mean, there are 4 on the outside, on the floor.
It is up to you. However, at the close to it, but it's in a dangerous area, there seems to also be a switch. A lever that's currently pulled up.
Well, I'm going to pull that. No.
I say go for it.
And I go for it.
I did not hear that. What did you say?
I go.
Okay. You go over towards the area, and I did give you guys warning, so as soon as you get close to it, go ahead and roll a dexterity saving throw. Coast with disadvantage. Alright. What about the others? Can I still be heard? Hello? Take that as a no. Testing. Am I back?
Hello? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Discord today. Okay. As a strange pulsing energy begins to wrap around the room, you feel a pulse just shoot out. And the main force of it goes into the tunnels, but there's still a force aiming straight towards you. Liviana, Thal, Kos, Navy's fine, Remy. Acting upon this, Navy, you just dive behind this area. Reducing
Can
the
I
damage
help
by
somebody else since they've been so helpful with saving me?
You can help one.
Whoever is closest, I just grab them.
That would be Thal or Liviana.
Help, I'm making a
I'll
You
grab.
can't decide.
I'll grab Liviana
Okay.
because she seems like she can't take it. And I'm
Wow.
sorry. I'm like, I know you helped me earlier, but we both need saving. I don't know.
I would say.
Thank you.
I would say be trying to go for Thal. He's bigger than you, so it'd be a strength
Yeah,
check.
I was like, I don't know if I can grab you. I'm tiny.
Right. The damage is reduced to half for you two. The others take the full force. Bastion did also roll poorly. Wasn't a 1 though. So that it's 4d10.
Oh god.
You two, Liviana and Navy, take 13. And just a massive explosion of energy just hits the rest of the people. And you just hit the walls.
Leave charred bits of me at the wall.
It hurt, but maybe you're still alive.
No.
I'm barely
Level-
alive. I
Level
got
2, pal.
Yeah, that's enough to kill.
Yeah. This was supposed to be a dangerous sight. It's a good thing you brought Bastion along. You just
thought more than 10 points of damage over is enough to kill.
depends on the game. I think 3.5 does that. But then he begins to administer small doses to each of you.
One hit point.
You are back up to 1 hit point. Again, he's not an alchemist. But he has enough to bring you all back. But at 1.
Okay.
What about me?
we
I
need
started
to-
at 1 hit point.
Then you're at 2.
Yeah.
We need to leave this room either by the way we came or through the other side very quickly now, I think.
That was 3 damage shy of being instant death.
Yes, I think we're all pretty hurt.
Bastion is more or less fine. He is bleeding a lot, but he's fine. He could probably take another of those hits, but he'd then die. If you're alright with the leaving, I'm perfectly fine with it. You did pay for the day, and if we're leaving early, so be it.
I do have this health potion that I found on the ship a while back.
I say we just take a rest. Good long nap. Long rest.
It doesn't seem that it does that too often. Perhaps it takes some time. Based on the way the bedrock has moved, determining the time speed, it likely takes, I'd say about 4 hours for each of those intervals. And it did take us about 10 minutes to enter inside. So if we do exit, I suggest we go through the hole and then leave that room, as it now has become an open area where the energy can now go through.
Okay, so plan is to go out, I guess, to the jump cabin room, camp there, then come back in as soon as we see a flag. We'll let it go through.
Yeah, I suppose. You do so. It does take more or less an hour. Then you see the next wave of energy hit the area, and it goes through all the way into the, basically the jumping room is what I called it in my notes, because that's what you do in there until you figure it out.
That's what I call it.
From Bastion's determination and information, he's roughly right. It was enough time for you all to short rest. So if you want to use hit points or hit dice, you can. But if you decide to go back in, that is up to you.
Wait, I thought we wanted to take a long rest, no?
You can, if you want to. But then Bastion would leave in the middle of the night.
Why is that not posted correctly?
I mean, unless you pay him more. I don't know.
So, wait a minute. How much health do you gain? I don't understand.
Okay, so you roll your hit dice, which is different for every class.
Yes.
Each of those an extra. So why don't you
now that
just
I'm a
roll that extra
fighter,
d6?
I rolled a d10.
Yeah, and you're second level, so you got 2 of them.
Oh. Jesus.
I was gonna say, if you use 1 hit dice now, my Song of Rest happens, and if we take another short rest later, you can use your second to double up on the music. So, what are our actual hit die? It's just our base hit die. So, like with bar to be 1, or does our Constitution modifier play a role in that?
It's your hit dice, and then I believe it's plus Constitution modifier.
What about if you have Dwarven Resilience?
I don't think that applies. What's the wording? Did you find the wording?
Never mind.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Well, I'm
bad.
What do you need?
So I roll my hit dice, and then what do I roll?
1d6.
You just add your
1d6.
Constitution modifier.
And
then the 1d6 for the Song of
bard
Rest.
stuff.
So is it per hit die you roll, you add your Constitution?
No, it's the total. You can choose to roll another hit dice after you roll the amount you chose the first time. But after you decide to say that's the rolls I want, you then add the Constitution modifier.
I thought your hit dice,
What?
you could spend them. Like I roll a d8, I get that many. Once I roll a d8, I get that.
Yes, but then
Well, 'cause
afterwards you add the con.
Okay.
So I
Wait,
roll
so
a 1d8 or a 1d6?
For a monk, I believe it's 1. It's 1d6 on the. That's just like what it's set the base as on the character sheets. You have to modify it based on that.
So basically, during a short rest, right now you have 2 hit dice. You can choose to use 1 or 2. After rolling 1, if you decide to do so, you can roll the second one. But you don't have to. You then
I just
add
want to.
Constitution modifier. And then you add a d6 due to Song of Rest.
So 1 Constitution modifier per short.
That's what I've been told.
Cool.
If you find something
So-
else, you can tell me after.
It's your game.
Wait, why would we not spend both hit dice? I'm confused.
Because you might not need to. So I'm rolling a 1d8?
For you, it'd be 1d6.
1d6 for me then.
Mm-hmm.
For monks, really?
I could
don't
be
know,
wrong.
because it says 1d8 on my thing.
Oh, okay. It's 1d8. I
But
thought I
I
heard
don't know.
close.
I don't know if I set it up right or not. I don't remember.
Well, I thought I heard Coach say that it was 1d6, so let's just say it's 1d8 for now, and we'll figure it out later.
Yes.
We have it open here. It's. Yeah, it's a 1d8. So,
Okay.
Yep.
So I 1d8, but what was that 1d6? That's what I'm.
That's from
That's from Kaz's class. They played something called Song of Rest, which
Oh, okay.
gives the party a 1d6 to add on to that.
Okay. Cool. So I roll a 1d8 plus my constitution.
Yes.
yes, but you only get
it's just
your
a-
Constitution mod or rest, no matter how many hit dice you spend.
Well, I'll use it right now. I don't care. So I just use it. So I do a 1d8 plus 1 then?
Yes.
That's your con.
I think I heard a yes. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And then I do 1d6, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. So I
And then
get a
if you
total
mark
of
switch, you
7.
probably-
Hold on.
and
So I
you
get
can-
to add a total of 7 hit points, right?
Yes.
Yes. And then you can also roll another hit dice, but you do not add your con.
Oh, fuck. Well, okay.
Okay. While you take a short rest, Bastion does state, "Alright then, if we decide to go now, we can go now. Some of you have managed to bandage yourselves up. But if you decide to take a long rest, I will leave in the middle of the night."
I'm ready. I'm ready. That was a good voice.
Wait, we're going now, right? We just did all that short rest shit.
It's gonna have some payoff.
Huh?
Go.
Yes. Is what I'm assuming, and no one else said no.
Okay.
So after the finished pulse wave goes through, you enter back inside, which means you have an hour before that happens again. You all wind up back in the corner. Navy probably gets behind this giant treasure chest looking thing.
I don't know the meaning of fear. I'll pull the look.
Wait, we have to have a plan. What are we even doing here?
Your main
Yeah, why were
objective
we?
was to
spinning
investigate
that?
the site. Now what you're doing is up to you. You do know that this area has a massive amount of energy just collecting in an area, and the energy is not from your current plane of existence altogether. You see that there's a giant gemstone in the middle of it and two others adjacent to the south and north. There is one giant lever on the other side of this thing, and that is your riddle that is not a riddle.
Oh, so we're just in the wrong side. So why are we?
Limbo.
I mean, I'm all for not pulling the lever again.
You did not
Yeah, we
even
just
manage
gotta
to
go
get to the lever.
finish the. Yeah, I say we go complete this, find somebody that can speak deep speech, and come back here when we have the rest of the riddle completed.
Which would just us easy access to this room.
Unless
Yeah, I
you guys want to keep messing around.
I think to avoid dying, that wouldn't be a bad idea.
Pull the lever, Crunk. Fuck it, go for it.
You can reach it. It's on the other side of the laser beam.
I got wings.
You do have wings. Do you go?
No, I don't think playing with it is a good idea.
So do you head back into town then?
Okay. Just one more thing before. Someone who knows something about magic, where's my voice right now? Take a look at these gems that are outside the vortex.
Sure. I take a closer look at them.
18. Okay. From what you can tell, they seem to be catalyst stones. I don't know why that fell. Sorry. They seem to be catalyst stones, which means that it is currently continuing on this process. While they're still in there, it will continue to do so. How to stop this thing? Maybe take them out? Maybe press the lever. But the gemstones themselves seem to be magical and have roughly the worth of 300 gold.
So... Pilot. Go ahead.
Okay. Basically, they're used like jumper cables to restart this process.
So it looks like these gems are keeping the process going. So I don't know if we can take them out, or if that would even be a good idea.
Does it look like we can touch them without being electrocuted or whatever?
Possibly, but it's still moving, so it'd likely hurt you while you're doing it.
I thought they were like off to the sides, like where the. I don't know how to click shit on here. But like I thought they were like off over here. No.
No, they're embedded in the metalwork of the frame.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Anyone else have ideas or?
And then, do we know what this thing is even doing?
No.
You really don't.
It's like some big power source for the world, and we're just gonna shut it off. No, I'm just kidding.
Have we tried throwing something at it?
No.
Can we back up if you're gonna toss something in there?
I really do think we should go report back this thing that is well beyond the realm of our.
I agree.
Yes, I think that's a great idea.
Didn't even get one shiny.
We'll come back for the shinies later.
Sometime later, you make it back out of the area. While you're going through the area where one of you lost the spear, do you go and try to retrieve it?
Fall?
I feel like You're trying to either
Who are
set me
you?
up for failure or set me up for success here. I think.
Sign you up for something.
Can I take a perception check to see if the room's aight or not?
As you enter back inside, you see that the entire situation has changed. Some of you do see things that you want, desire, want to kill, are looking for. Thaw, you do see what appears to be a goblin just mean mugging you behind your spear.
I stick my tongue out at him and I put my thumbs in my ears and wave my hands back and forth like they're bigger.
All right. As you go through the room, I'm assuming.
No, I just be like, nah, 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 nah.
As you go
And
through
I'll ask him, you want to
the
play?
hallway, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'm just standing in front of the door on the ledge where I
Alright.
can stand because the floor is missing.
A little bit, yeah. Actually, at this point, it would be back to normal. Coming back, you do see that the room, as I mentioned before, was altered. You saw some other things, different things, still some shiny things for Kos. And Thaw, you still saw the...
Oh, none of it's real.
Maybe.
This whole place is a lie.
But
I mean, that's a box full of platinum.
It's alright. I have other spears to throw.
okay. The things that remained the same were that shiny thing Navy saw, which you never really figured out what it was. Thaw's spear and a goblin, and Remy and the platinum chest. The only thing that actually changed was Liviana's missing cat.
Can we do like No, I think I did that the first time I walked through. Never mind. I don't know.
Okay. It takes a few hours, but you do manage to get back into town. It's not that much of a trek. Well, it is, but you see that the boat's still there, still fine. You didn't lose it due to people just stealing it. The little engraving that one of your companions did is still on the boat. After the time span that Bastion stated is up, he would then state, "Alright then. I'm still gonna follow you, but basically you're following me now back into town."
Yes, yes.
You make it back into town. Before he goes into his building, somebody states, "Alright, if you need my services again, just let me know." And he enters inside. Then you see a flicker of light just dissipate. Inside of his house.
We hear grumbling.
Yes.
Almost got themselves killed, them kids. The ring turns him into like a 90-year-old man.
We should be happy. We took him deeper into the ruins than he'd ever been.
It's true.
A stupid ruin. Well, let's go back and report then.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alright. You make way back to the boat. And this map.
All we found was a stupid swirling energy old thing. Full of didn't like it at all.
And a kitten that wasn't really a kitten.
Yes, a whole way of life.
And I'll take out the papers and show all the writing and say we need someone that can speak this language and I'll presume, like, I assume we don't know what language it technically is.
Your characters wouldn't, but as you just show people the paper, you see Zon go, "Oh, it's deep speech. I can translate it for you if you'd like."
Yeah, I hold the paper over, please.
Alright. Let's see here. And undering might enters bright. Enter darkness, enters day. Enters the ever morning sway. It seems to be an ending of an incantation. But
I'll
that's
just
about
jot
it.
down what he wrote, what he said, and you know about magic, Liviana, right? So
Yeah.
I would, yeah, give you all the papers or whatever.
Alright. Liviana, go ahead and roll Arcana now that you have the full tentacle
Okay.
spell. 18. Examining it, you can tell that this is something interesting. You can tell that it is somewhat... Well, if the stones are a catalyst, this spell is a reducer. It wouldn't fully stop the mechanism inside the room, but it would slow it down enough for it to be safe inside. You can also tell that the statue itself, well, you can only assume, really, that a door would open leading into the room.
So it looks like with this, we can safely enter that area. Unlike before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still no idea on whether or not it's a good idea to open it up, or turn it off, rather.
Zon does state, do you mind telling me what you found? I'm really surprised that deep speech was even there. Wait, why does the voice change? It doesn't matter.
Basically, it was a big ball of magical energy.
That does seem like something from my past. But I honestly can't tell you if that's all the information you have. Perhaps it could be one of the beacons, but that's
There
fine.
were 4 coffins. 2 with skull and crossbones, and 2 with crowns.
And there was gem things in there, and things were spinning around really fast, and it was like pulsating with energy.
And I saw a goblin.
Those are all true. Zon would then state, well, I don't know about the goblin, but what you're describing might be a generator room.
A generator room?
Yes. In the past, we needed energy, and, well, not everyone could use magic. So we concocted a way of bringing it into a different source. Depending on which energy source they tapped into, it could have altered the environment itself differently. It's perhaps one of these. If it was left unattended, it would continue to grow mass and perhaps go wild. The safest probably route to do so would be to find a way to open it safely. So it's a good thing you came back after you figuring that out.
Oh yeah, we didn't totally try to pull the lever.
From the back side of things.
We smelled like charred flesh because we had a barbecue.
I mean, you'd have filled
that this one. Am I missing an eyebrow?
No, unless you want to be. She would then state, it would still be possible, but it'd be quite dangerous. Let's see here. That spell that you just finished, it's likely the one to unlock the door and to slow things down. But unless you actually know the language, you would need. Well, you wouldn't be able to open the door. If you'd like, I can accompany you this time.
That'd be nice.
It sounds very helpful, but again, we're shutting it down. It's a beacon.
Well, to be
Yeah.
perfectly honest, I don't know what it's for. The main reason I would be joining you is to figure that out.
Sounds good. I
Sounds
need
good.
to sleep now.
Right. So, if you're all ready, we can go now, or we can take a rest. She does
Rest.
look at you and states, "You do seem rather beat up."
Oh, we fought dozens of magicians along the way. Horrible scallywag.
Roll deception.
By myself. Da-da-da-da-da. I invested in.
Whether she believes you or not, you can't tell, but she simply states, "All right then. Then take the night. It is getting rather dusty. Rather dusty out. Don't know why though."
We doing a long rest?
Yes, this time you are doing a long rest, which means you heal back to your full. You regain your dice that you've expended for the day.
It's a full reset.
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
In a fishing town, let's say while everybody's doing their full night's rest, before I go rest, am I able to either searching along the coast or maybe in a store or shop there, a pearl?
You might be able to deep dive with some of the fishermen when they're going clam fishing. But this is a small port village. If they do have pearls, it would be probably expensive or being imported into Batad or Kobe. But not impossible.
Well, before everybody goes to bed, I'm gonna let them know that I'm in desperate need of a pearl and at least 2 gigantic owl feathers. Well, one can be small, but one would any feather, a big feather would be nice.
Can I help find the pearl?
Actually, you could. Would you?
Go down and search around.
All right. Both you can go ahead and roll survival to find a pearl. You just ask
Fish
around
for water for breathing.
for the right fishing site.
Like, I'm pretty good with underwater. I think I might be able to help.
Let's see. Those two are well enough that you find 1 pearl worth the value of motorcycle. Worth the value of 100 gold.
Awesome. Now all we need is an owl feather, and with that, I'm going to bed.
All right. You immediately fall asleep in the ocean and drown.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just the way I wanted to go out.
Maybe
Just
quickly,
drag him up. I'm like, you can't sleep under there.
maybe quickly takes you out before that happens, and you go back onto the boat.
I love it. I got a pearl.
After the long rest and drying off your clothes, you wake up back in the morning. It has stopped raining, but that doesn't really matter to you right now. You get back up, dressed, and have a little light breakfast. Zon then states, "All right then, shall we get going? Do you know? Well, I am assuming you know the way."
Yeah,
Yes,
I took
we're
map of
role-playing.
everything.
I believe Navy has been making maps, so you beat me to it. Navy, because she made the map, you don't need to roll.
Cue Steamboat Willie soundtrack.
But you bypass what appears to be a goblin site once again if you decide to attack them. Up to you. I didn't hear anything, so I'm assuming you're letting him go. You do find that strange woman just peering at the wall of water, with that strange spirit thing. And then eventually you make it back here. After a few good hours. Oops, wait. Here. Bastion's no longer there.
And so we recite.
Alright then. Let's take a look. Each and every one of you that can read it begins to read. And the last incantation, Zon then finishes reading. Afterwards, you see the scripture underneath begins to turn and turn. As it's turning, you can see that the statue turns in kind, and then opens a doorway to you. You see giant gears turning on the ground, and you see almost the gyroscope beginning to slow down. After a certain point, it is almost at near crawling speed. It's still moving, but it's no longer dangerous in the room. It took roughly an hour to be so clear, because someone just left this thing running for about 3,000 years.
Okay.
We're gonna be able to make with all that power.
So
Right.
these costs. Do you know anything about them? They seem menacing.
Well, let's take a look then, shall we? It seems that someone's already been here. Roughly less than an hour. Less than 2 days ago. That's quite curious. I'm surprised someone could make it in here.
I would worry about that.
Well, let's
Yes,
turn off the
very
lever then.
Indication?
She pulls the lever, and then afterwards the crawling speed turns completely off. Oops, sorry. Wrong layer. Turns completely off.
Ooh,
Ooh.
it's pretty.
It is. She then looks. Alright, then let's take a look. Oh, that's quite interesting. They seem to have tapped into the Feywild with this one.
With this what?
As I mentioned before, this one, or these, and generators, tap into a specific environment and draw out magic from there. Basically consider them a giant, she wouldn't know the equivalent of a battery for your current time and form. Think of them as giant, pools of magic that you could use for a certain thing. Alright, let's take a look then. She looks around and goes, they seem to be fully intact, but it is a bit worn thanks to the never-ending turning. Although I don't know why they never bothered to turn it off. Examining it and then taking off the two crystals to the south, she comes over and hands one to Liviana and hand one to Navy. Just in case, if it does turn on, I'd rather not be in the room when it happens.
Yes, that sounds terribly dangerous and irresponsible.
Alright then, let's take a look at what they were
So
powering
compared-
on. As she
So I'm
comes-
just holding the crystal for now, right?
yes. She did take the other two from the north, but she has them in her pockets. There's still the giant crystal in the middle. But that's pretty heavy, and she did not go for that. She then comes over here and goes, "All right then, let's take a look at what they were powering." She begins to cast something, and then lifts up about 5 feet in the air, which is enough to open the thing. All right. Let's see here. Athletics. 14 plus her modifier, so she barely opens it. She opens it inside, and inside you can tell that something is in there. Obviously. Kos and Liviana, you can tell that whatever's inside, she smiles at and then comes back down. All right then. It
It's a
seems.
kitten.
What was that?
Is it a kitten?
It is not. Don't know why you would see a cat. At any rate, what we found here.
Was it shiny quickly? What's all this now?
Looking inside, you see a whole bunch of gears, metal dowels, poles, levers. Basically, a blacksmith's dream and an engineer's wildest fantasy.
In a different way.
To Kos, it would mean nothing.
Not the sort of shinies you were looking for.
They are quite shiny, though. Alright then, it seems that they were powering up equipment, which means that eventually I would be able to generate something quite massive in scale. Perhaps some sort of, yes, I suppose it's possible if I get the right, vessel. Perhaps a flying machine or the like. But it would require time. Slowly,
Hi.
surely, and I would be able to upgrade things on the island or on the boat.
Dragon boat, you said?
I did not say that, but I suppose I could shape it into a dragon.
Yes, yes. Perhaps these are shiny chests after all.
Cool.
Right. Huh. Well, that seems to be good. I don't know why this was still running, though. That is curious. But that's honestly something else for another time. I really didn't find anything else here. And since we came directly through, I didn't really explore anything else.
There were some weird plants and no, yes, we definitely explored. But there's probably a tunnel that's brand new. Someone dug it. I don't know. I must have told.
Well, that could explain how someone got in here earlier than us. And the weird plants could have been... Well, it has been going on for some time. So it could have been the way Feywild just seeping through the small energy pool they've been collecting. That would make sense. That being said, I'm surprised you all managed to get through the illusionary scribe inside the room. Coming here. It honestly shows you what you most desire or most hate. And often enough, various people go and attack it or claim it. Although sometimes it does show you what's actually there, and you never really know if it's there or not until you look.
Well, we found a room like that. Can you, if we go to there, can you tell us which rooms actually have things in it?
I'm afraid not. I can tell you what I can see in it. But only the engineers that designed the room would be able to tell you
Okay.
if it was or not.
How about we all go look in there, and if we all see the same thing, then that's probably what's really in there.
It's possible.
Do you guys want to go try that or no?
Please let it be platinum. Please let Yes, that sounds fun. So, just for future reference, you're going to come back here
And build
Or
us
send
a
people
flying
to
ship.
or do we have to haul it out?
We would have to haul out the equipment, I'm afraid. Unless you don't want me on the ship, which is perfectly fine, I would just have to stay at the shipping village and do so. It is a small village, so I'm assuming they'll be fine with me staying.
But you wouldn't be there for very long, right? Just until we can get the flying ship built, and then you come back.
I'm afraid since I am the only one able to build the thing, it would be from scratch.
Sorry, is this our captain or our enchantress?
What was that?
Is this the enchantress or the captain?
The enchanter.
Okay, that's
If she's building the ship from scratch, it would take a massive amount of time because she's the only one that can. If you spend a week here and come back and forth and collecting items, she can stay with you, and she won't have to start from scratch. She would upgrade your boat, but that would take time still.
I think we should do it that way. That way sounds better to me. But it's whatever you guys want to do.
agree.
I want to kill things.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
On the
7
way
days
behind-
of D&D time, so it can be 2 seconds.
On one of the ways back, we'll kill some goblins.
Yes,
Forget
we
it.
will hunt goblins.
Do you promise?
Yes, on the way back, if we see goblins,
Let's go
in that
hunt
one
some
place, we'll go hunt them. Let's figure.
You know what, Thal? You've been so good. Let's go hunt some goblins on the back.
And I can take the rear.
Zahn just seems mortified that you're going to hunt a species, but doesn't say anything. So, going through the rooms, the cat's no longer there, so you really don't see anything inside. To Kos's room, you see a whole bunch of pots and pans, some shiny gems and jewels. All of you see that. Going further down, you do see Navy's strange shining rock. No longer there. You do see going into the platinum room, the platinum bursting chest. You all see it still there. Going further down in Thal's room, you do see a spear still there. Maybe because Thal never picked it up. But you do not see a goblin inside.
Can I fashion a lasso from my 50 feet of tempered rope that comes with my boat?
Yes, but you would have a disadvantage when you're trying to lasso anything, because that is not your class.
What class gets lasso?
Fighter.
Oh,
I,
maybe have someone multi-classing as a fighter.
Or background sailor.
I would like to use my mage hand.
Yeah, that'll also work. Using the rope to lasso it over it, you simply use your mage hand and wrap it around. You then just pull the spear out, and it's back outside of the room.
Oh, spear. I thought giant chest of flat. But sure, spear.
Do you go for the platinum?
I thought we all saw it.
Yes,
Yeah.
but I thought you were going for the last thing I mentioned.
Well, you know what? We'll get that spear back.
Okay, you do so.
And let's try it. We've perfected it now. You know, the spear was the trial run.
Sure.
So, was the room we should have went in?
You don't know which room's the one you should go in, but when you all look into the rooms, you still see the platinum. Navy's shiny thing is no longer there. Thal's spear was still there. It was an actual spear. It didn't just disappear. Going down, you didn't see the goblin either. The cat was no longer there after it disappeared. Kos's jewel room, pots and pans room that are really shiny are still there. That's not to say you're choosing the right rooms, that's just to say that's what you see now.
Shall we try this delightful mage hand trick again and then pull the chest towards us?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay?
We do that.
As you begin to lasso around the chest, you place the rope around it. Then you tug, and then the rope goes through it, and then the chest disappears.
Curse this foul hallway.
And there's nothing in my room anymore.
There's nothing in your room that you see.
Does anyone need pots and pans?
Can I throw a rock in my room?
You throw a rock in your room, and you hit the book and the turned over treasure chest inside.
And I don't see anything else.
The first time you saw something shining. This time, when everyone looked inside, you didn't see anything.
Okay. Moving on. I have no other ideas. If you guys have another room you want to try.
So the treasure chest is turned over?
It looks empty, but it is turned over. Think of it like a giant trash pile.
I'll try to
I
grab
mean,
it.
What was that? Hello?
she tries to grab it? Is that what you said?
I said, do you want to try to grab it like with you, how you guys did with your rope?
I mean,
Sure.
no harm, no foul. Let's try it again. Third time's the charm.
Alright. You do the same thing, but in Navy's room. You wrap it around the treasure chest, and you pull. And the treasure chest pulls towards you. You do see that the book still remains, and as you pull the treasure chest towards you, it is empty as you turn it over.
Can I want to walk in there, but I'm afraid to.
I mean, it's a book. Lipiana, could you just mage hand the book?
Yeah, can you
Or,
grab the
or
book?
is out of those spells, is it easy to cast that? If it's a cantrip, you're golden.
Yeah, it's a cantrip.
Okay.
Yeah.
You grab the book up, and as you grab the book up, a small blue gem just hits the ground.
Can you grab that gem?
I grabbed the gem.
You just drop the book, it hits the ground, and you pick up.
No, like grab both of them, not like go back for the gem after you get the book.
You drop the gem.
Drop the
grab
gem.
the book.
Pick up the book. Bring the book back. Go back in. Grab the gem.
Can I have the gem?
I mean, if no one else has any objections to that, I don't see why not.
To everybody else.
It's fine. I've still
What was it?
Figure out what it does first.
Zon then states, if you like, I can cast Identify, but it might also not just be magical.
Yeah, identify it.
I hand it over to her.
It's still early in the morning, / afternoon, so she'll cast it normally. It doesn't seem to be magical, but it is quite valuable, historically wise. You could probably sell it to an archaeologist or a museum for roughly maybe 2,000 gold. But in and of itself, it is just something quite precious. It seems to have belonged to a statue, as it does resemble an eye.
Very interesting.
But I'm afraid it is not magical. It is expensive, but it is not magical.
And the book?
Alright, you hand it over and she waves her... Actually, she'd probably just open it first, knowing her. That's interesting. It is written in Undercommon, if any of you speak it. No one raises a hand. Alright then, let me translate it then for you. This does seem to be information on warlock packs and the like. If any of you are warlocks, it might be able to be beneficial to you. If you're not, you could perhaps sell it. I'm sure some type of magic school or the like would pay a pretty penny for it.
Well, I mean, one shiny ain't bad.
Quite true. So, we're gonna explore any other room, or we go back?
Do you know anything about, what did you say, Feywild plants? If not, we should go.
I do know a tad. When my mother and father were heading, importing and exporting from time to time, they did import into the Feywild. Why? Is there something wrong?
I'll show her the flask full of sap. What do you make of this stuff?
Well, that seems to be dragon root blood, but it seems to be fine. You didn't lick it, right?
No, I didn't. What does it do?
Well, the amount you have now would, cast out would be considered, wild magic. You would simply roll on the wild magic chart, and that effect would happen. But the more you consume in a body, the more it will deteriorate your cell-like structure. I wouldn't use more than 3 a month. If you plan to dope.
Sorry, if you plan to what?
If you plan to take drugs, that's basically what she's saying.
Oh, okay.
It
does have
So
a
I can-
wild sensation on the mind.
So I can spray it for wild magic, kit, and great.
But to game mechanics wise, if you take a vial of this stuff, a wild magic surge happens. It doesn't matter what happens. If you take it, it happens. You roll on the wild magic chart, 1d 100, and then an effect happens. It can be bad, it can be good. You don't know until it happens.
Well, we can get more of that if you want, otherwise I'm done here.
She begins to walk south.
Yeah, let's boogie.
Alright. So do you spend a week just transporting stuff?
Yeah, it seems wise.
We'll go fight some goblins while we're waiting.
During one of our many trips. If you got a goblin fight, let's do it.
I mean, I do, but it's not a good thing.
It's just a pointless angry thing.
No, that's not what I mean. But do you go and... Oh, I used the same map. Ah, that's fine. Do you go and find the goblins?
How about this? If at any point during our week-long transporting attempt to fuck with us in any way, we'll have a little fight.
They don't.
Well, dang these respectful goblins.
Do one of you try to hunt them down anyways? I'm not saying you should or shouldn't. I'm just wondering.
Well, has the town like made it clear that it's not good to, or that they care if we do?
They don't care if you do, but they don't bug anyone in town. They don't attack anyone. They leave fish out for them from time to time. And then the fish leaves after the night falls. Whatever the goblins are doing and whatever they're here for, It's not to attack the town. That's as much information as you have.
Hmm.
And since they're leaving the town alone, they don't care about these things.
Goblins are always up to some sort of mischief. Whether they seem like they're not a threat now, it's just their ploy to stay here longer so they can do their dirty, dark crafting. Later it'll come out. Trust me, they're up to no good.
It's not an impossibility.
I say we track them down and eradicate them.
I'm not sure about that thought.
I am.
It's up
Well,
to
I
you.
talked him down that one time, so now it's someone else's turn.
Can I roll persuasion?
Not against another player. You're just gonna have to
Oh,
try to
okay.
convince them.
What other recourse could you think of? A reason why not to?
Well, I mean, they're not hurting anyone right now. So, if you start up a clan war, well, clan war's bad.
That is a very good point.
Neutrality is never the answer, especially when the enemy claims neutrality but really has negative intentions. Trust me, they're up to no good. Maybe we can investigate what they're up to and stop them, and then later eradicate them at their heart.
Finish transporting goods, immediately go investigate goblin activity.
Okay. Just give me 1 second. I forgot that these tokens, because they got rid of the grid, awkwardly shape. And okay. As you head out, you do see tracks of goblins. It's not hard. One of you is a known goblin hunter for your own reasons. Zahn does not join in on this. No matter your intentions or your past, she's also really not a fighter.
Well, I like to think that Kos as a kobold just has like a grudge against goblins just because it's like a fight for territory, like coyotes and foxes or something. It's like they're really similar, but they fucking hate each other.
This map. As you eventually find them, and as you hide behind this giant tree, you do see that this band is a lot bigger than you had anticipated. There are roughly 4 higher up goblins. One of them seems to be massive in size for a goblin at 5'5". The other 2 down here seem to be a whopping 3 foot 5 inches, and this one here is quite tall at 4. The other goblins around the area seem to be almost young in age, but they still seem... I do not. Were you talking this entire time? Oh, and I left.
What happened?
Casimir having technical issues. Oh wait, you're back.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I don't know what happened there.
No idea.
I was gonna try to stealth up to him, but I guess it's a little too late, huh?
You're still stealth. Just describing the area. Basically, the giant tokens are just that, but they're not massive in size. They're like, the tallest one is 5'5", and the other big ones are like 4, and then 3.5 and 3.5. The other smaller ones seem to be small goblins, but with knives basically attached to each hand. You see that they are chasing this weird hound-like creature around. And they do seem to be speaking in Goblin, if any of you speak the language.
I speak the language.
Alright. Then you hear this translation. This hobgoblin over here then looks towards the one in green. Alright, Jonathan, it seems to be everything's alright. How are the children doing? They're doing wonderfully. Sir, right now we're simply training them on how to hunt and how to gather food. Unfortunately, due to the village being so small, they can only provide us so much. Yes, it is true. I am thankful for their voluntary work, but they do have their own mouths to feed, I'm sure. Right. Beyond this, sir, it seems that newcomers are in the area. Do they seem dangerous? The Great One then states, they seem to be wary of us. I'm not sure about their past, but they do seem to be concerned of us being here. Yes, that would make sense, given the way goblins are. Yes, that would be true, although they don't really know what's going on in this town. Quite right. So then, you think the children would be safe then? It's hard to say. We should keep an eye out for them, but we can't exactly judge them without an action following soon after. Right. Well, for now, continue on their training for hunting. After that, I will take them out, and we will hunt for a deer, the like.
Can I roll for perception to see whether or not they're lying, or like
that'd
whether
be
or
an
not
insight.
they think insight to like see if they know that we're here but trying to act.
Sure, that'd be insight still.
As if these are the most like crafty pedestrian goblins.
Like the ones from the slime anime.
You know what we should do is just make them think that we're really pleasant. That'll fool them.
It is hard to say. Like, genuinely, you've never seen these type of goblins before. And it even becomes more confusing when someone else enters the fray. The woman that was guarding the area that you are heading towards, well, really, she was just watching the area, comes into the small little hut village. The hobgoblin switches languages. Well, the red hobgoblin. Do one of you speak Celestial?
Thought one of us did.
I'm pretty sure one of you did.
Not I.
It's Liviana.
Okay. Well then, Liviana, you hear this translation. Oh, miss, you're here so soon. Yes, it seems that someone has finally relieved me of my post. Oh, excellent. So then, will you be joining the community then? I will be around, but right now I'm just concerned about who did it, and for what reason. The Grey One then states in Celestial, yes, from what it could be the newcomers in town. I did see them a couple times when they traveled through, but I am not quite sure. They did manage to grab a few bits of equipment from the post. Although my mother really never told me what was going on there. It's just when the natural environment stated I should go, I was no longer needed. That's quite true. So then, if you're gonna join the community, would you like a tent set up for you? I'll be alright for now, but how are the children doing? Oh, they're wonderful, the Grey One then states. Just look at them currently hunt. They're not attacking their pet dog, are they? Oh, no, no, they're rubber knives. They're still too young to actually wield anything metal. That's good. And they just have pleasant conversation.
They don't seem to be aggressive, though.
I'm still suspicious.
Do you think that they can speak English?
Common.
Common. Sorry.
You just see this strange gas-like creature put one of the kids on top of its head.
You said a gas-like creature?
It's a type of ghost. Basically, it's a giant flying skull with vapors behind it.
These goblins seem very wholesome.
Wholesome indeed.
So all you think this is weird.
No, yeah, I do think this is pretty.
Yes.
Hey guys, I think this is pretty weird.
So let me put this. It's just an idea. I think maybe you hate goblins because they raid and kill families and children and whatnot. Yes?
No, I just think they smell.
Well, I mean, you could just bathe them then, rather than kill them.
They do kind of smell.
Bathe them in their own blood.
Well, the point is, I'm rather asking if you attack these, well, it seems like rather family-style folk. Are you really any better?
Everyone's always someone's father or daughter or mother. But in the end, it's me or them. And they've already got.
I mean, these ones?
If you guys don't want to attack them, that's fine, but don't say I didn't warn you. They're up to no good. You'll find out sooner.
You see these two children playing patty cake? But really aggressively. Like they're trying to hurt each other's hands. That could be a goblin thing or a kid thing. Honestly, I did that as a kid.
Yep.
But yeah, do you, I guess, commit genocide? Or just leave? I would
Everyone
say go
looked like-
hunting, but they haven't attacked you or done anything.
I hate politics.
A little rainbow forms over the town.
No, it's not that wholesome. The best thing you can gather is they're trying to survive. With an inside of 6, all you can really see is people coming together, just trying to survive. The city seems to maybe not care enough, or they've come to an understanding with them. You could ask the city if you'd like, but you really don't know who to ask. The only person that you do know that might have the answer is Bastion, but then you'd have to go speak with Bastion again. You can also just leave the island and come back later. There's no reason, technically, to attack or not attack. You can also just tell the city, hey, this is where they are. Watch out for them, burn them down to the ground if you have to. Or want to.
Guys, I want to talk to them.
Okay.
Progress.
If you guys want to go hide somewhere,
No,
I'm
I
gonna
think-
approach them.
I'll approach with.
Alright.
I'll come with. I'm a disarming personality.
As you pull out a knife, you fart.
Ah, goblins. It's okay. I know how to deal with them. Ah. No, this is what they know.
Moving forward, did you do that actually?
No.
Okay. Moving forwards, you do see that they notice you because you're not really hiding, except for maybe Remy. The woman then looks towards the man in gray.
Oh, I'm hiding.
Yeah, that's what I assumed. They both nod, look towards the hobgoblin in red, and goes. The woman then states, "Yes, these are the ones that came into town recently." She says that in common. Right. Just make sure the kids are safe. He then steps forwards. Palm on the hilt, but not grasped over it. Of his giant blade on his side. It's still sheathed. He kind of looks like a hobgoblin paladin, if I'm being perfectly honest. But he looks towards your compatriots and yourself, Thal, and goes, greetings. For what purpose do you reside here?
We've tracked you down in hopes to understand what you guys are doing here because, quite frankly, the sight of goblins is unnerving. And we are wondering what you are doing here.
Oh, well, we've established a community here. He's right-handed, so he comes out with his left hand for a handshake. The name's Wester. It's a pleasure to meet you.
I don't trust him. Don't ever trust someone that shakes with their left hand.
I do not mean no offense, but
He can also be left-handed.
Shaking hands at this time.
He puts it back down. All right then.
Hello. I am Kosingaturi. I am a kobold, and therefore better than you. Hello.
Mm.
Do you speak
I shake his hand.
He shakes it in turn. He just looks
Nice
towards
to
Koss.
meet you. My name's Navy.
It's a pleasure.
Hi, Wester. I'm Liviana.
Same to you. He looks at Koss. Yes, I do speak common and a various assortment of other languages. Why am I making him sound the same? Doesn't matter. And a bit of other languages as well. Is there something you would like? You are welcome here if you decide to stay, Sir Koss. They're not, shackling you down, are they?
Was he speaking to me?
Yes.
No, they're actually quite fine.
Oh, well then go.
The big one over here seems to be more against you than even I am. I mean, I'm not against you, it's just, you know.
Yes. He air quotes. Not taken aback, but relaxing more, so he does it with both hands. You are, air quotes, superior. And then he puts his hands back down.
I can see you're a wise leader indeed.
He just chuckles. But we are a community here. We have made notice to the town mayor down the road. We have a bit of trading here and there. They supply us some food from time to time, and we supply them some material.
Oh, that's fine. I kick Thal in the boot. Do what you're gonna do then. Well, anyway, it's nice to meet you. I guess I hear you get fish sometimes from the village. What are we doing here?
He continues. Yes, quite right. Most of us here have either been betrayed, captured, enslaved, kicked around, or were faced with a family curse here and there. So after all this is said and done, we've joined together to make sure we all survive and, well, we live a happy life rather than going back to those terrible days.
That sounds fair enough. I'm looking at Thal expectantly.
Alright, well, I still don't trust you, and I'm going to say this now. If you guys are up to no good and we find out that you're up to no good, we're going to come back for redemption. But as for now, we're going to leave you alone.
Well, you're more than welcome to come back. We do have a banquet on Thursdays if you'd like to return on that day.
Yeah, and what are you eating at those banquets?
He looks
People?
over to the man in gray. Deer, antelope. I think we saw some boar in the west forest. More than likely bull.
Man bear pigs?
I don't believe I've seen any of those.
Like the story. Anyways, same offer stands, but we're going to be going now.
What's the foxy
Yeah, so-
lady doing?
She's just keeping an eye on you. In case you're probably going to attack. Remy, you can clearly tell she's staring directly at you from time to time. But she's
Who's looking at me?
the fox woman.
Fox lady.
She sees nothing.
Okay, then you believe she's staring at a tree.
Haha.
I don't know, maybe she's not completely right in the head. Who's to say?
She doesn't like introduce herself when the orc guy does, or the
Uh,
goblin guy.
Well, Wester is the leader. She's just an associate of his. If you like, you can interact. You can speak with her. She's just making sure you don't attack the kids or anyone else in the small village.
Yeah, just be like. Sorry, what was that?
I was just saying, I'm coming out from behind the tree.
Wester takes note and goes, "Oh, another friend of yours, I'm assuming. Wester." He then, he's relaxed thanks to Kos. He comes out with his right hand.
Ah, what a fine, handy handshake there. I'll take his hand and shake.
He is
I'm Remy.
strong. Like crazy arm strength. He doesn't like crush your hand, but you can feel the weight of his hand is heavy.
Wester, I do have a question. I don't necessarily know what the rest of the group came up here to be bothering you with, but have you happened to notice, are there any owls in the local?
He looks over towards the man in gray. Jonathan, did you find anything? Last I checked, the owl bears are still hibernating.
Do you know maybe about where the whereabouts of these hibernating owls?
Well, right now they're not on the coastline, so if I had to wager... Why is his voice changing now? If I had to guess, maybe in the middle of the forest? We don't go hunting for them unless it's required.
Well, would you guys happen to have any owlbear remains left over? Perhaps some feathers?
We have made some coats here and there. If you... are you cold? Do you need a jacket?
Oh, no. I'm just interested in just a single feather.
I'm looking over at Remy, like, suspiciously, trying to figure out what she's doing.
Well, whenever we hunt something or bring anything down, we use everything. So if we remove one of the feathers from the cloaks, it would weaken it and it be useless. Although I can give you the entire cloak and you do with it as you like.
Yeah, sure. What would you like for said cloak?
He looks towards Wester. He nods. It's all right. You can have it. Think of it as a symbolic gesture. He hands you a small coat. I'm afraid we only have children's sizes right now. Uh, but you do what you like with it.
Oh, why, thank you.
I have in. This is unheard of, really. Goblins giving a gift. I shall not be outdone. I have 3 hats for the little ones.
You bring out 3 paper hats.
No, I actually got some legit hats from, I thought, the Hermit's Den.
Oh, okay. You have those hats. I thought it would just be cuter if you had paper hats.
Hey, man, I use what you give.
Yeah. The woman comes over. Thanks. Do you put it in her palm? She just has it outstretched.
I'm just
That's
staring at
kinda-
her, admiring her ears.
It's
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
like reach
I
it out
guess
and
I could
drop it, like.
She doesn't know who to give it to. Because there's more than 3 kids.
Aw. She has to choose.
Hang on. She then begins to cast a spell on the hats. And then you see 2 more emerge out of nowhere. Then you see the 5 kids just scramble about her. I guess to Thaw, it would look like they're trying to attack her with the small rubber knives.
Rubber nose.
But as they're falling around her, she just places hats on top of their heads. She looks towards your group and goes, thanks. The name's Tia, by the way. 1 second, I'm getting a phone call.
You know, if that is a child-sized cloak that doesn't quite fit, I wouldn't say no to having a furry cloak in a big hat.
It would technically fit close. Technically. It'd be a little tight, though. But yeah, she does say Tia.
I'll flourish the cap. Coasting getter.
She just basically gets
Love
mauled by the
bio.
kids. She just casts magic again. Floats them over to this area. She's not good with kids.
Or is she excellent with kids because they love that?
She just commands her familiar to go and play with them. But Wester then looks to the rest of the group. Thank you for the gifts and I suppose the warning. But if there's nothing else, you're more than welcome to stay, if you've been kicked out of wherever you've come from.
Very kind, but we... No, we've actually formed our own sort of a colony thing. Similar sort of idea. Ours is better, you know.
Yeah.
Has kobolds in it.
Yeah, we're
But,
fine with places to stay, but I want to know about Tia. Like, I want to ask her what she was doing in the forest and stuff like that.
She then looks towards your group. Oh, so I'm assuming you were the ones who turned it off then. Well, I was, the best way I would describe it is a guard. My family was cursed to roam the lands and make sure that the area I was protecting, if it called out, should protect it. My mother and my mother before that, and then I believe my mother before that, were also cursed to stay in place. The only kindness I was shown was Wester when he came upon me and, well, he gave me bits of food here and there. I wasn't exactly allowed to leave. So I had my familiar collect food for me here and there. But honestly, I was just to spend my nights and days there until either someone stopped the call or I die.
Oh. Well, now we get to roam around, huh?
Yeah, but I don't really know where to go, so I'll be here for a bit. But I don't know if I'll be staying. Wester then states, "That's perfectly alright, it is your choice. I will miss you, but you're more than welcome to come back."
Well, we have plans for that power source thing. Maybe you can talk to the person that we have that's going to work on it to see if you guys can exchange information.
I'm
If
afraid
you have the time.
I'm afraid I don't really have any information on it. It's
Oh.
been dated back so long that most of my clan has either died or the information has been lost.
Well, it occurs to me that if you wanted to defend your legacy, as it were, and you didn't have anything else to do, you could, I don't know, help our enchantress, well, make something of it. And then a new beginning. We're going to call it a dragon boat. It's going to fly.
She just looks at you curiously. I mean, the only things I can do, and this is the only things I can really do. I'm an entertainer by trade until I was drafted into my post. I believe Wester called them bards. I'm a dancing bard by trade, but other than entertainment, I really can't give you anything else. The only other thing I can do is connect to the strange environment that this place was. To you, that would be meaning she can attune or connect with the moving gyroscope or the energy from it. But she doesn't know that, so I'm afraid I can't really do much more than that.
So
Well,
if she leaves
like
the island, she's not magical.
No, she leaves, but she's out of proximity to the magical thingy, but all of the items that we're going to use to make the ship fly are charged with that energy.
Yes. Meaning it's possible she can tap into it and manipulate it, but she does not know that. She doesn't have this information, but you do.
I thought I kind of said that when I said, like, anyway, if you want to see the world and, see what it was they were protecting all that time, feel free.
Maybe some other time. If you come back, I might take you up on that offer, but right now I'd like to spend a little time here. Or who knows, maybe I'll see you in the world.
Okay, I mean, it's your choice. Spend time with goblins instead of kobolds, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's a totally regular thing to choose, sure.
You see Wester chuckle at that. Tia confused because she doesn't know the dynamic. But she doesn't question it. Right. I mean, it's not because they're goblins, but it's because I know them.
No, that's fine. No judgment.
Right. Well, do take care. Wester then chimes in. Yes. Once again, you're more than welcome to come back. Thursday is feast night. So if you decide to come back, you'll definitely have a meal on that day. As I'm assuming you're heading out?
Yes. Thank you for the invitation. It was probably going to be fish anyway. Goblins love fish.
Even though they just said they had venison and shit.
Heading back to your boat, you finished collecting all the equipment. You do have at least tail end of someone that could connect with this strange energy in a way that you can't. But she's not so keen in just climbing on board in a ship with strangers. I mean, who is nowadays? As you make it back, Jazz, Rita, and Zon were waiting for you. Rita looks towards the group and goes, "Welcome back. It seems that whatever you did inside the temple that Zon stated was enough to make the map clearer. Another site has been identified, but that is for you to decide next time, as we end the session for today."